Welcome back everyone to another Penguin Z Plays On video, and today we are going to be talking about Invincible because what did I just watch? If you've been watching the channel, you know I have not talked about Invincible for the past 2 weeks. Last week I didn't talk about it because I was too busy talking about Daredevil and a bunch of other stuff, and also the episode was not even that crazy to talk about, so it was fine. And then the week before that, I was going through a crisis, so I couldn't talk about it, but now I have returned. I am back, and I'm so glad I wanted to talk about today's episode, because when I say this Invincible episode is the best Invincible episode, I don't think it's a stretch to say. First things first, of course, this video will contain spoilers for Invincible, so if you don't want to get spoiled for Invincible, or just don't care about Invincible, and you just don't like Invincible, I don't think you should watch the video. But if you've seen Invincible, you love this new episode, and love Invincible, you should watch this video. Let's get into it. So first things first, I honestly don't think there's anything bad about this episode. Actually, the animation, I'm joking. We all know the animation's bad. But first thing I want to talk about, Tech Jacket, okay? I'm gonna get at least the best of the best. Tech Jacket being gender swapped from a man to a girl. Zoe, the new Tech Jacket in this animated TV series, I was thinking, oh my gosh, she about to be an annoying character, stupid. And now looking at this episode, watching the whole entire thing, and now I'm like, oh, Zoe's actually cool. Not saying the female version's gonna be better than the male version, because I've seen some of the comics. Zack is probably gonna be better than Zoe, but I think Zoe can show justice for Tech Jacket. Hopefully. I pray. Because from the action scenes we have and the jokes she be making, honestly, I like it. And it is cool to see maybe a Tech Jacket and Oliver relationship. Literally. Next thing I want to talk about is Nolan in this episode, because Nolan is completely depressed. The Debbie scene with Nolan is an amazing scene in this episode, and I think everybody would be talking about it right now if it wasn't for that final 15 minutes. But it doesn't mean that scene has to be put in the darkness, because that scene, my god, it was so emotional for real. Having Debbie punch Nolan, her knuckles bleeding, and it's like, damn, Nolan, you really messed up. And I'm really hoping Debbie does not get back with Nolan, because in the comics, at some point in time that I know of, Debbie does get back with Nolan. I'm hoping that's one thing they switch from the comics to the series, because Invincible series, Debbie has been through too much that she should not go back to Nolan. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is Oliver, okay? Oliver is getting more worried for me, because Oliver is just showing I don't think he's gonna make it out of this war. I am so sorry, okay? When it comes to him fighting any of the Viltrumites, he almost gets murdered every single time. He tries to fight Conquest, and Conquest almost red rushes him. Oliver's head was about to blow up, and Oliver was also about to get full on out smacked by Conquest. And I think that would have been a very rough slap. Very rough. I'm hoping Oliver can lock in more, because I just don't want to see Oliver die for real. Last thing before I talk about the huge finale. Debbie in this episode, oh my god. I don't think we're going to see Debbie for a good minute, because now everything's going to be in space and about the war. But Debbie, when she cries, talks to Nolan. That dinner scene was so peak. And Debbie telling Mark, please be careful. Don't die. Mark really should have listened to her, because oh my god, once it actually happened, I knew it was gonna happen. I already got spoiled by the comics, of course. I knew Conquest was coming back in this episode. When it happened and Mark was like, how are you back? And that fight begins, oh my god, it is peak absolute cinema. You don't understand. I was so happy when that fight happened, and the animation was so good, and it's not getting me worried for the big moments in this series. I really feel like the beginning of the season animation was okay. They're saving their budget for the bigger scenes, such as this fight between Mark and Conquest, the rematch. It starts off all chill and all when they're in space, just throwing punches and stuff. Even Nolan fights Conquest for a good moment. Wished it last longer, but it was so cool. But once Conquest gets onto the planet with Mark, and they start fighting back and forth, Mark is not holding back no more, and I'm so glad. He is just choking Conquest, going back and forth. Conquest, this animation is so good now, and only in this episode, because his face starts turning purple, and it's looking like, oh, Mark's gonna win. He's actually about to kill Conquest. But if you've seen the comics, you knew what was gonna happen, because once Conquest just pulls up with this move right here and punches Mark's stomach open. Can't show you guys anything because it's too brutal for the YouTube algorithm. But Conquest puts his hand in his stomach, and he pulls it out. It starts ripping through all of his ribs, his organs. And I know when the creators said that this season's gonna have the most brutal scene throughout the whole series, oh, I knew it was this scene, and they weren't joking. Conquest just kept on going, and I'm like, that could happen to me, maybe. And that scene was just amazing. I love the way it looks. We do know Mark is, of course, not dead. It's just common sense. How does he survive that? How? But Conquest is finally dead. Nolan and Oliver somehow gotta get, I don't know, Mark back to normal. And Alan and Tech Jacket are with Viltrumites on their ship. I don't know what's gonna happen next episode, but it better be peak. What was your guys' thoughts on this episode of Invincible? I loved it. But yeah, guys, that is it for today's video. I'm about to be dropping like crazy for the next 2 days, so be ready for that. But hey, guys, I'm Playzone, and like always, everybody, peace out.